The iron door you see protects the hole that goes to the deepest point on Earth. It is also called the door to hell, because the events that have occurred during these excavations will leave you speechless. In 1971, an enormous hole with a diameter of 70 meters was discovered inside the Soviet Union. There was no information about the formation of this hole. In 1989, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, thousands of classified documents related to Project KGB were leaked and investigated. One of these top-secret documents was related to the Door to Hell project. The information inside the file was so astonishing that it quickly caught the attention of the media. On May 24, 1970, the Deep Earth Exploration Project was initiated by the government and scientists of the Soviet Union. The purpose of this project took on a different form after the discovery of the astonishing hole in the Kola Peninsula, because the scientists were determined to uncover the origin of this hole, and they intended to dig into the depths of the Earth to the extent that their resources allowed in order to examine the Earth's crust. First and foremost, it should be mentioned that if we set aside the controversies, the research and discoveries made in this project have been unbelievable. But as mentioned before, alongside scientific documents, the legends and myths that have emerged set this project apart from other scientific explorations. Several years before the Soviet Union, the United States also initiated a similar drilling operation. However, it was never talked about in the media to the extent of the Kola project. During this project, over 3,000 workers were involved, and in addition to the government, a wide range of scientists, doctors, and merchants also followed its confidential news. On the day the project began, drilling operations commenced in the early hours of the morning. The set goal for the first phase was 15,000 meters, meaning that humans were about to penetrate the Earth's surface to a depth of 15 kilometers for the first time. In those years, the United States of America had set its sights on the sky, meaning exploring the unknowns of outer space. On the other hand, the Soviet Union, seeing itself as the winner of the space race against America, decided to shift its focus from studying the depths of space to exploring the depths of the Earth's crust, when the Russians believed that by investigating the depths of the Earth, they could discover valuable information about the creation of the universe. Continuing Soviet excavations yielded very desirable results. In 1979, the depth of Berta Rogers excavations in America reached 9,583 meters. And in 1983, they went much further and reached a depth of 12,000 meters. But as they went deeper, they encountered more problems. In 1984, with the breaking of drilling bits after hitting a very hard surface at a depth of 12 kilometers and the failure of further attempts, the project was interrupted for 1 year until they found a solution to this problem through further studies. For this reason, after 1 year, they returned to a depth of 7,000 meters and started drilling again from a new coordinate. And in 1989, the drill bit reached a depth of 12,262 meters. However, at this depth, they encountered an unbelievable heat, namely a temperature of 180 degrees Celsius. And in 1992, the project was completely halted. These are all the information we have about this project. But the main point here is that governments never share all the information with the public. Most of that information remained completely confidential, and all the extracted data and prepared reports in this project were classified as top secret government documents. But it's worth knowing that, according to the disclosed documents of KGB, the reason for the project's halt at a depth of 12 kilometers was not a technical problem as stated. When the drill tried to go deeper, it suddenly seemed to enter empty space, and the drill bits were spinning without encountering any surface. Experts, suspecting the breaking of the drill bits, pulled them up, and upon removal, the workers were faced with melted drill bits. From inside the drilled hole, they felt intense heat and heard strange sounds. When the thermometer was sent to a depth of 12 kilometers, everyone was shocked by the temperature reading at that point. It showed a temperature of 1,200 degrees Celsius before the thermometer melted. Experts were puzzled because this heat was many times higher than their predictions. Considering the temperature of magma, the existence of such heat at this depth from the Earth was unbelievable. One of the greatest geologists in history, Dr. Dmitry Isakov, who was present in this project, writes about these events as follows. The drill suddenly went crazy and started spinning, indicating that either the drill bits were broken or they had entered an empty space like a cave. When we measured the temperature, the thermometer before melting showed an unbelievably high temperature of 1200 degrees Celsius. This was several times higher than our predictions, as if hellfire was shining at that depth. Scientists insisted on continuing the project while engineers wanted it to stop. Finally, the government issued an order to continue the project. However, alternative solutions had to be found for this issue because at that temperature, the current drilling tools were not effective. Dr. Isakov requested the government to provide them with heat, resistant wires and microphones, which are used in spacecraft to withstand atmospheric heat. Of course, these equipments were not completely effective against such extreme heat, but it was decided to proceed with them, as they could provide important clues in a short period of time. Finally, the microphone was dropped to a depth of 12,262 meters to uncover the truth.
Our first eye of water. Yeah, 376.
After 1 hour and 12 minutes, the microphone reached the bottom of the hole. But the sounds coming from the speakers stunned everyone present at that location. In this audio file, claimed to be recorded at a depth of 12 kilometers underground, human screams and noises are clearly audible. After this incident, many gave the nickname Hell Gate to this hole. Dr. Isakov writes about these sounds as follows. To further investigate the matter, we sent a specially designed microphone to the depth of the hole. But instead of recording the sounds of the plates shifting, we recorded the screams and noises of humans. Initially, we thought that these sounds might be due to air pressure or technical difficulties, but further experiments revealed that it was not the case. All the people present in the room wanted to know what was at the end of that hole. So we requested advanced cameras from the government by sending them the recorded audio file. After obtaining the necessary permissions, the cameras used in spacecraft were sent to Dr. Isakov, and finally, the camera you see was sent inside the hole. The camera slowly approached the end of the path. The images seen at that depth were never released, but it was enough to halt the project unconditionally and keep all the information and those images silent. The only people who saw those images were Dr. Isakov, his team, and those who issued the project's termination order. The Soviet Communist Party, which considered religious beliefs contradictory to science and not openly but secretly suppressed religion in their country, quickly issued an order to eliminate all the information and documents related to this project, except for its scientific and research aspects. Dr. Isakov and his team were severely threatened by KGB not to disclose any information seen that day. However, limited information about what you have seen in this video has been collected after the collapse of the Soviet Union and the disclosure of KGB documents and the testimonies of the people present in that room. In the end, numerous theories were presented on this matter. Many believed that these sounds were coming from hell and considered it a divine miracle and wisdom. On the other hand, many others denied this claim and found it unbelievable. The judgment is yours. Finally, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. To explore events that the world has yet to find answers to, Be sure to subscribe to my channel.